Hello everyone, Jul here. For a genre that is full of fantastic games, there are still lots of unique games in this genre that we need to discuss. These games are not necessarily the most hype or popular in the market, but they offer some kind of uniqueness that you won't find in another game. And since we will focus more on the unique topic, the number in this list is not representing the ranking of the games. So I hope you can enjoy the video as references than focusing on the ranking itself. Before we continue, I want to tell you once again about the upcoming strategy game that you absolutely must play if you love superheroes theme. The game is called DC Dark Legion, and yes, it is an official DC game, and finally this time we have an adaptation of Scott Snyder's Dark Knight's Metal series. If you know this series, there's no way you will not hype about this game. There are over 50 superheroes and super villains that you can play at launch, and more than 200 DC characters will be featured in the game. And if you're tired with another action superheroes game, well, lucky you, because this game is a hybrid between strategy, simulation, and RPG. You will gather various champions with different strengths and weaknesses, construct and customize your own Batcave, and also refining your strategy by finding the best synergy in your team. And as a huge fan of Batman Arkham Origins in the past, I love for a fact that Roger Craig Smith, the voice actor for Bruce Wayne in that game, is back here. And he's not the only amazing voice actor that involved here. There are John Jones as Harley Quinn, JP Carliak as the Joker, and many more. So what are you waiting for? Download the game by clicking the link in the description below, and if you're worried about playing it on mobile phone, don't worry, because the game is also available on PC. It's time to unite the heroes and get ready to save the world. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Cosmic Star Heroine is a turn-based RPG that successfully balances nostalgia with fresh ideas, delivering a streamlined fast-paced RPG experience. Inspired by 16-bit classics like Chrono Trigger and Phantasy Star, the game crafts a fun intergalactic espionage adventure with charming writing and a tight combat system. Gameplay-wise, the battle system is the clear highlight, forcing players to think strategically by limiting ability uses before requiring a defensive stance to recharge. Moreover, party composition is key here, with different characters specializing in offense, healing, or exploiting elemental weaknesses. Shadow Hearts is a series of RPGs that blend gothic horror, alternate history, and traditional turn-based RPG mechanics. Gameplay-wise, the Judgment Ring is the defining mechanic, introducing a timing-based element to turn-based combat. Instead of simply selecting actions, players must hit precise zones on a spinning dial to execute attacks, spells, and combos effectively. Furthermore, the protagonist also harnesses the fusion system, allowing him to transform into powerful demons by collecting elemental souls. Xenosaga is a sprawling sci-fi RPG trilogy that blends philosophical storytelling, deep character-driven drama, and intricate gameplay systems. The battles in this series incorporate the boost system, allowing characters to act out of turn by accumulating and spending boost points. Moreover, each game refines its mechanics, with Episode 1 focusing on AP-based command selection, Episode 2 shifting towards combo-driven combat, and Episode 3 streamlining battles with faster-paced action and skill customization. Another major gameplay aspect is the ES battles, where characters pilot massive mechs in dedicated combat sequences. Resonance of Fate is an RPG that presents a unique take on the turn-based RPG. Unlike conventional RPGs that rely on magic and a diverse set of abilities, Resonance of Fate centers entirely around firearms. The battles emphasize movement and positioning, requiring a strategic balance between machine guns and handguns. As a result, mastering these mechanics allows for the execution of powerful team-based maneuvers, rewarding careful planning with stylish and effective results. Fuga Melodies of Steel is a turn-based strategy RPG series that delivers an emotionally charged experience blending tactical combat, resource management, and weighty player choices. Gameplay-wise, battles revolve around turn-based, position-based combat, with children manning different gun turrets, each specializing in light, medium, or heavy attacks. Strategic enemy targeting and team synergy are essential, as certain weapons are more effective against specific enemies. Breath of Fire 4 is a JRPG that presents a solid and traditional role-playing experience that remains faithful to its predecessors. The mechanics retain the core elements that have defined the franchise while introducing a few notable enhancements. The most significant change is the increased capacity for hit points and damage output, allowing battles to feel more dynamic and impactful. The introduction of a magic combo system also adds another layer of strategy, enabling characters to chain spells together for amplified effects. Crystal Project is a game that offers a distinct take on the traditional JRPG formula, blending open-world exploration with platforming and a flexible class system. Rather than relying on random encounters, the game presents enemies visibly within the environment. Enemy strength is visually indicated through a color-coded system, which helps players to gauge their combat readiness. The game also emphasizes the importance of buffs, debuffs, and tactical positioning, rewarding players who take full advantage of these mechanics. The Lord of the Rings: The Third Age is an RPG that allows players to actively engage in key battles from the film trilogy. In this game, players control a single on-screen character, while the rest of the party appears only during cutscenes and combat. As for the combat, each character possesses a range of abilities categorized into various skill sets, such as spirit powers for magic users and weapon craft for melee fighters. The process of unlocking new abilities is also straightforward, allowing players to conveniently shape their character's progression. Final Fantasy XIII is a trilogy of RPGs that emphasizes cinematic combat and a rich world, set in a futuristic, mythologically infused universe. The trilogy spans 3 games, each refining and evolving its core gameplay mechanics while expanding the narrative. Gameplay-wise, the series is defined by the Paradigm system, a unique evolution of turn-based combat that allows players to switch between preset role combinations in real time. Instead of directly controlling all party members, players manage their leader while issuing broad tactical shifts, emphasizing synergy between offensive, defensive, and support roles. Bravely Second End Layer is a traditional JRPG that closely adheres to the conventions of its predecessors, particularly Bravely Default. As expected, the game's combat system remains its strongest element, retaining the mechanics of its predecessor. The Brave and Default options introduce a layer of strategic depth to the turn-based battles. The ability to sacrifice future turns for immediate action or conserve actions for later use allows for flexible tactical decision-making. This system proves particularly effective in boss battles, where managing healing and damage output requires careful planning.
Who? My loyal servant.
But before we go into the list, I want to introduce you to the best platform for buying games in this modern era, and it's called Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is the perfect place for you to shop in games these days. Your transactions are legit, fast, and their supports are ready 24/7, so you don't need to worry about anything. Do you think I was done? Not even close. They have lots of games for your favorite platforms, and they have the best deals as well. Instead of cutting your budget for dinner to buy new games, why not try instant gaming and eat healthy as well? All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platforms. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Suikoden is a classic RPG series renowned for its grand political storytelling and the ability to recruit a vast roster of characters. In this game, combat is typically fast-paced, with an emphasis on character positioning, rune-based magic, and unite attacks. Moreover, a major feature across the series is the castle headquarters, which expands as more characters are recruited. This mechanic gives players a tangible sense of progress, making recruitment not just a side objective but an integral part of the experience. Caves of Qud is an RPG that blends deep world simulation with a richly detailed sci-fi setting. Drawing from classic roguelike mechanics, it presents a vast intricate world where history, mythology, and technology intertwine in the most compelling ways. At its core, the game follows traditional roguelike conventions, featuring a top-down perspective, turn-based gameplay, and procedurally generated elements. However, it offers an unusual level of flexibility. Every object, wall, creature, and NPC is fully modeled, allowing players to experiment various solutions to solve problems. Etrian Odyssey is a dungeon crawler RPG that presents a distinctive blend of classic turn-based RPG mechanics and cartography, embracing a style that harkens back to an earlier era of gaming. At its core, the game revolves around the management of an adventurer's guild tasked with exploring a dangerous labyrinth. However, unlike more narrative-driven RPGs, the game focuses on mechanics over storytelling. Moreover, the absence of hand-holding also means that players must carefully consider their choices, since resources are scarce and resurrecting fallen party members are costly. Chrono Ark presents an innovative fusion of roguelite deck building and JRPG mechanics, setting itself apart from conventional turn-based games through its intricate combat system. Combat serves as both the game's greatest strength and its largest barrier to entry. There are multiple elements that makes the combat quite complex, like escalating skill cost per character, a dual-layered health system, and persistent pinned abilities. While each mechanic adds depth, the learning curve is steep. However, once players acclimate to the intricacies, the combat reveals itself to be both engaging and highly rewarding. Eternal Sonata is a JRPG that offers a strikingly imaginative premise, blending historical inspiration with a richly stylized fantasy world. Mechanically, the game departs from traditional turn-based systems, incorporating real-time movement and timed interactions into combat. Players must position characters strategically, execute combos, and block at precise moments to maximize effectiveness. The game also introduces light and shadow mechanics, affecting both character abilities and enemy transformations based on environmental lighting.
Alright, let's keep moving forward.
WitchSpring R is an indie RPG that seamlessly blends classic mechanics with modern polish, delivering an experience that rivals larger, more established titles. The gameplay is structured around a blend of training, crafting, and combat, with a unique approach to progression. And rather than relying on traditional experience points, the game limits leveling to a fixed number of battles, ensuring that progression is based on resource management and strategic development rather than grinding. Cassette Piece is a monster collecting game that blends classic RPG mechanics with a unique transformation system. In this game, the battle system introduces a distinctive twist on elemental interactions known as the chemistry system. Rather than merely dealing extra damage based on type weaknesses, attacks can trigger unique effects. Metal Against Ice, for instance, applies a smash status that reduces the target's defense, while other combinations result in defensive buffs or debuffs. The Legend of Dragoon is a turn-based RPG set in the fantasy world of Endiness, where the story follows Dartfeld and his companions as they uncover ancient powers, wage war against oppressive forces, and unravel the mysteries of the legendary Dragoon warriors. As for the gameplay, the game features a traditional turn-based battle system, but what sets it apart is the addition system. Instead of selecting an attack and watching it unfold, players must press buttons at the right moment to chain combos, adding a layer of skill and engagement to each encounter. Darkest Dungeon is a game that sets itself apart from traditional turn-based RPGs with its relentless difficulty and deep strategic layers. Mechanically, the game is overwhelming in its depth. Positioning plays a crucial role in combat, as certain skills are only available in specific slots, and enemies can disrupt formations to throw parties into chaos. Managing quirks and afflictions is also just as important as equipping weapons and abilities, as traits can directly impact gameplay. Xenogears stands as one of the most ambitious RPGs of its time, blending philosophical depth, innovative combat, and a gripping narrative into an experience that remains unique even among Square's legendary lineup. Gameplay-wise, the dual battle system sets Xenogears apart from its peers. When on foot, combat follows a turn-based structure with a unique combo attack system where players can chain together light, medium, and heavy attacks to execute powerful techniques. The second half of combat revolves around gear battles, where characters pilot their massive mechs in battle that operate on a field system. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other unique turn-based RPGs that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best unique turn-based RPGs that probably deserve the spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another grad list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!
Smile and say cheese!